My name is Louis, and God bless to every single one of you. Today is February 1st, 2026, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News Channel. Guys, we have an urgent information coming out. 4 moons appear over Russia, St. Petersburg. Wow. Alright, so let me pull this up really quick. It says here, the spectacle, known as a paraselene, was created by moonlight bending through ice crystal in a frosty atmosphere. And at the same time, you got a solar flare going on too. So the sun erupted not too long ago. There was a coronal mass ejection. So we are definitely seeing the signs of the heavens. So we're gonna see what's going on with this one here, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests,
last night in a post you alluded that something could be coming.
Yeah, well, he said that I spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I didn't. I mean, he's a lightweight. This guy, he's a terrible. I think he's terrible. I thought he did a terrible job at the Grammys. I thought the whole Grammys was terrible. I watched part of it. It's not watchable, but he was a lousy host. I'd say not as bad as Jimmy Kimmel, but pretty close. And no, he made a statement about me and Jeffrey Epstein. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And in fact, if you look at the DOJ, they announced, they released 3 million pages. It's like this is all they're supposed to be doing. And frankly, the DOJ, I think, should just say, we have other things to do, because that whole thing has turned out, I mean, other than Bill Clinton and, Bill Gates and lots of people that there are a lot of questions about it, but nothing on me. But it was even sort of better than that, because they found that Jeffrey Epstein and this sleazebag writer named Michael Wolff were conspiring against Donald Trump to lose the election. So Epstein was conspiring with a writer for me to lose the election. So right there, you know that I had nothing to do with this guy. But yeah, it's a terrible thing. The amount of time that's being wasted. When Epstein was alive, like 10 years ago, nobody cared about it. But they're only doing it. But now it's really hitting back on them because Bill Clinton is such a big part of it. The Democrats are pushing it. And the problem is that it's turning out to be the Democrats that were with and conspired with Epstein. So I think you're probably going to see a little pullback from them. But think of it. They were working together to try and help me lose the election. But this is the Oval Office. So I guess that didn't work out too well. Okay, one more question.
That's crazy.
Investigation that started with a cyber tip has now led to one of the most disturbing indictments the Warren County prosecutor says he's ever seen.
Yeah, so a local couple now facing dozens of these charges. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson live now in Lebanon for us with all the details. Hey, Karen.
Yeah, hey, Chris, I want to warn everyone that the details of this case are very graphic. This couple was just indicted on 54 counts, including the drugging and raping of a child and also sex with dogs. Now, I was told today even law enforcement professionals who see a lot of crazy stuff were at a loss for words at what they discovered.
Video from the Warren County Sheriff's Office shows Friday's arrest of 43-year-old Erica Grove. And
All right, we're going to walk back here a little bit.
The arrest of her boyfriend and former reality show star that features swingers, Tony McCollister. He was taken into custody a month ago on child pornography charges.
But they also uncovered videos of McCollister and Erica Grove, who was his girlfriend, engaging in various types of sexual conduct with 2 dogs.
Detectives continued the investigation.
And ultimately were able to uncover evidence that Grove and McCollister were drugging a female child that was under the age of 6 years old, specifically for the purposes of raping her as well as engaging in other sexual conduct with her.
Evidence that prosecutor David Fornshell says left law enforcement professionals speechless.
They drugged the girl specifically to rape her. It's just hard to process. I mean, when you see what these people are capable of.
The case was presented to a grand jury on Friday, the same day the Warren County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant at Grove's home on Lavender Way in Morrow.
It's the first time in 15 years before we presented evidence to the grand jury that I went into the grand jury and specifically apologized to them for what they were going to see and hear.
The couple was indicted on a total of 54 counts, including rape and corrupting another with drugs.
And the couple, they are scheduled to be arraigned here in Warren County on Wednesday. Reporting live in Lebanon tonight, Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
2 parents accused of keeping their young children locked in a bedroom for extended periods are now facing child abuse charges. The children, just 4 and 6 years old, apparently living in their own filth.
12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra is live at Glendale Police Headquarters with new disturbing details in this case. Gabriela.
Well, Tram Troy, Glendale police tell us it was a Good Samaritan who called for a welfare check on this apartment after seeing a child standing in the window without any clothes on. When officers arrived, they had found the family of 4 had been living in extremely unsanitary and hazardous conditions. Now, we're going to show you photos from inside that apartment, but I want to warn you, they are graphic. These photos were taken last Thursday after the mother, identified as Sarah Jackson, allowed those officers into her home. According to court records, they immediately noticed a strong smell of feces and urine and saw dried waste covering the floor, walls, and bedding in the apartment. The 4 and 6-year-old boys were allegedly living in a fenced-in bedroom and weren't potty trained or given access to a bathroom. Officers found several guns inside the apartment, including one that was kept where the children slept. The father, identified as Arthur Jackson, reportedly told police that the children hadn't been to a doctor since they were born and they were not enrolled in school. When officers asked the parents why the apartment wasn't kept clean, the mother reportedly told them, quote, "I'm a bad mom. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed and I don't have the motivation." The father stated that he works and doesn't have time to scrub the apartment down.
The conditions here were so deplorable that our officers were quite in shock when they arrived on the scene and did everything that they could to not only get these children into a safe environment. There was a family pet that was living there as well. That family pet has also been taken from this environment, and it appeared that the family pet was actually treated better than these children were.
And the children were taken to the hospital and were cleared of any immediate health concerns. They've since been placed in the care of the Arizona Department of Child Safety. Both parents are facing 2 counts of child abuse. They're being held in the Maricopa County Jail on $25,000 bonds. In Glendale, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Like, they had to install whatever fencing there was on that. I mean, because you don't have a fence inside your apartment. So they had to go through the effort, or somebody did, to install that fence like you were caging up animals in there.
The police described it as child safety gates that hadn't been zip tied together. And when police officers arrived to the home, they could see that the mother was undoing those zip ties in order to show them the children when they asked to see them.
Poor kids.
All right. Gabby, thank you for the
Story 2, Lancaster parents have been sentenced to life in prison for the brutal murders of their children.
And those details are disturbing. Investigators say they decapitated their kids and then forced their younger kids to look at their bodies. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth is live in Lancaster with all the details, plus how a family friend is reacting to all of this. Leo.
Well, I'm shaking my head because just hearing you talk about what happened here. The level of evil surrounding this particular story, in my humble opinion, would even make Satan shiver. And the judge, when she handed down the sentence in the Antelope Valley courtroom here this morning, she was visibly outraged. As for the family friend, folks, there aren't any words. There are no words. We have no words to wrap your arms around this level of horror.
I don't think anyone does. How? How do you put into words that 2 children were beheaded?
40-year-old Maurice Taylor Sr. and 44-year-old Natalie Brothwell, both convicted of the unspeakable, horrendous murders of their 12-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter at a home in the 45,000 block of Century Circle in Lancaster in 2020. The parents also convicted of child endangerment, forcing their 8- and 9-year-old sons to view the mangled bodies of their deceased siblings. As the judge handed down the sentence to both parents, life behind bars, no parole, she basically told them what they did was absolutely despicable.
This stays with all of us. This is never going to wash off. I don't care how long you two have been doing this will never wash off.
Ellen seen her in a picture with her friend Natalie, saying she can't fathom why Natalie was complicit in her own children's vicious murders. She adds Natalie and the children's father had a violent relationship for years, and she begged her friend to leave, but she refused.
She was doing what we were raised to believe. You stand by your man, you have a family, and you raise your children.
Ellen reading a letter she wrote to her friend Natalie on camera.
Natalie, I forgive you. I forgive you for believing in a system that should have protected you. I forgive you for believing in a religion that told you to stay.
And the judge in the courtroom allowed the mother to say a few words in court before handing down her sentence. And the mother basically looked at the judge in tears and said,